Welcome back to the Mr. Showtime podcast. Kind of took an early nap later this afternoon after coming back to the gym, and I felt a little bit tired, and I took an early nap around about 4, and I no, actually it was later. Later than that was like 5. So I came back home at around 5, and I took an early snooze nap, and only woke up now, and the time is it's 12 a.m. right now at night, right? Well, in the morning, right? Time is now 12 a.m. 2 minutes past 12 a.m. in the in the at night. Yeah. So thought I just got up now, and just to make a late midnight snack, and I kind of had topic a thought that came to my mind. So lately, this year is the year of the FIFA World Cup. It's going to be hosted in Qatar later this year in 2022, and lately on DSTV they've been playing these FIFA World Cup archives from previous World Cup tournaments, and the one that they've been playing the most is the one that was held in South Africa, the 2010 FIFA World Cup that was hosted here in my country of birth, South Africa. And the documentary's name is called Once in a Lifetime, right? And throughout this documentary, it shows how the world's perceptions were. Well, it first starts off with the build up, the lead up, the World Cup bid, how South Africa won our World Cup bid to host the tournament, right? And there was a lot of controversy that fell before and shortly afterwards. Big mainstream publications, media houses, journalists from America, the United States, and Australia, and from other European countries, they were basically spewing hate narratives about the FIFA World Cup being hosted here in South Africa, which was back in the year of 2010. And they were basically spewing hate narratives such as, oh, why are we taking the FIFA World Cup to the bushes of Africa? Right? They were spewing all sorts of stereotypes in their newspaper outlets, their publications, and certain public figures in America, in Europe, certain football coaches and managers, ex-football coaches and managers, all over on Twitter, spewing some disrespect about the World Cup being hosted for the first time on African soil. And they were saying, are we gonna need water? Are we gonna need to bring our own fresh water because you know how it is in Africa, right? Do you know how those people are? Sleeping with lions and riding elephants, wearing animal skin. So in their minds, in 2010, their perceptions of Africans were just living out in this huge mud plain called Africa, riding elephants and playing with baboons and riding sleeping with lions and riding elephants. That's what's going on in their minds. And of course, since Americans predominantly are very ignorant and they don't know anything about the world outside of America, they believed it, right? And Australia published, oh, it's not too late to switch to Australia. And during that time, South Africans were busy, building the stadiums, the necessary infrastructure. Not that, well, the only thing we built is a few stadiums because we already had the infrastructure, right? It's not like we had development all of a sudden in 2010. Listen, to me, do you know what's funny? Rewind 15 years prior, 2010, where South Africa hosted the Rugby World Cup in the year of 1995. Funny enough, I don't remember, even though there was no social media back then, but there were still media publications and, narratives going around. It's funny to me how there were no pushback and cry outs from Europeans, other teams, other rugby nations complaining about, oh, we're afraid to go to Africa. We're scared to being, eaten by dangerous predators like lions. Because the Springboks, the SA national rugby team called the Springboks, we have hosted other teams and countries here to play, rugby. Countries like New Zealand, countries like Australia, Samoa, Japan, and other, England, France, Ireland. And we, they would come here, so different times of the month, they would come play home matches here, and the Springboks would travel to go play away matches, etc., etc. Why is it now, from the year 19, and of course, the Springboks won the Rugby World Cup in our own background at home. And this stuff was documented. There's films and there's archives, Rugby World Cup archives. The people saw how South Africa was. It was a first world developed nation. And the people knew the political shenanigans that were going on at the time, and we had established our democracy at that time, back in the year 1990. So, well after 1990, during the 1995 World Cup, we were already a democracy with, being Nelson Mandela being set free and him becoming president. We were already a democratic republic nation. And, there was movies created about, the whole 1995 World Cup. Popular movie that I can think of at the top of my head was Invictus by Matt Damon and starring Matt Damon and Morgan Freeman. So the world, other European countries, they've seen how South Africa is like. It's not, a jungle. It's a well-established first world country. Now, from the year, again, like I said, from the year 1995, fast forward 15 years to 2010. Now it's time for a football World Cup to be hosted in South Africa. Oh no! Now all of a sudden, the world pretends like they've never been to Africa at all. We're gonna get fried out in the African hot Serengeti safari wasteland. Australian media publications. It's not too late to switch to Australia. You don't have to go to Africa and get eaten by lions and other dangerous predators. American publications. Are we gonna need to bring fresh water? Because I don't want to be bit by those mosquitoes and start sprouting third limbs and and multiple eyes, looking like a mutant. You guys have seen how South Africa's like, but now you didn't say that with the World Cup. So you didn't say that with the Rugby World Cup. Y'all came here, you were hosted, South Africa won, we kicked your asses, and y'all went home. Now it's the FIFA World Cup. Because, with football, here in Africa, it's a sport mostly adored by black folks. Now it's time for black folks to have their favorite tournaments. Oh no, now it's Africa is a dangerous third world jungle bushy mud plain. Should we even consider? Are you guys serious? Is FIFA serious about this? You're gonna get us all killed out there. All of a sudden the world pretends as if like they've never been to Africa at all. Why was that? Why did, with the FIFA World Cup in 2010, all these hate narratives were spewed? Well, for several reasons. Particularly from Australia, America, New Zealand, and other European nations, and other people that were spewing hate narratives. All boils down to jealousy and hate. You see this with the general marketing of Africa. Have you seen one of those UNICEF commercial adverts for world hunger? They always show an African kid who's starving of scurvy and osteoporosis with flies running all up and down his face. And you have these Hollywood celebrities like David Beckham or Penelope Cruz. Well, with just 50 cents a day donation, you too can help this poor African child from dying from starvation. Donate 50 cents to www.unicef.com. Thank you very much, because together we can solve world hunger. Marketing. Africa has been marketed in a less than desirable fashion for decades, right? And it's not like that does exist in Africa, but that's not all of Africa. Have you ever seen how whenever they show Africa, it's always like a bunch of Africans in leather skin, right? Animal skin, jumping up and down, chucking spears, the whole stereotype, riding elephants, bone through the nose, doing rain dance, pot stirring, doing some voodoo rain dance. Hey, okay, so that's Native Americans. Dimbawe, vulunda, aguduba. They've been making parodies of Africa for a long time. Now, other people from other nations, they see these commercial ads, they see these movies, they see these stereotypical portrayals, which, again, I'm not totally mad at, because for the most part, it is true, but that's not all of Africa. They show the villages, they show the poor parts of Africa. But how come they never show the developed parts of Africa? Imagery plays a huge role in shaping perceptions, and when these American public figures, these media houses, they took advantage of that because they knew that the world is ignorant of how Africa is. They just, a lot of them, when they say Africa it's like a big, muddy plain. They say Africa as if it's a country. Yeah? As if like me from South Africa, don't ask me, hey, some American will ask me, so, I know this name, I know this friend. His name is Obasanjo from Ghana. You know him? Dude, I'm from the country called the Republic of South Africa. Way down the south. He's saying as if I know some Africans way up there in the north. As if one weekend I could just walk all the way north, upwards in the northern parts of Africa. All the way to the northern parts of Africa. Walking with my 10 toes. Just to visit a friend named Obasanjo for the weekend. And then afterwards, I would walk back down thousands, hundred thousands of kilometers across the continent. So yeah, it's just really funny how the world is still till this day in the year of the 2000s. They still have these weird stereotypical perceptions of Africa. I mean, let me tell you something. My country, South Africa, is a first world country, and the indoctrination is so deep. Even South Africans themselves don't even believe that South Africa is a first world country. This is how dumb we are. South Africans and Americans are one of the most dumbest people on earth. We have railroads, internet, fast fiber internet. We have technology. We have N1 freeway system, road systems. We have vehicles. We import. We export goods. We have a growing GDP. Annual GDP, economic wise. We have we have infrastructure. Like right now, you're looking at me, and some people would assume that I'm from America. And I say this because some people have actually asked me those questions, and I'm like, no, I'm South African. Because I'm not wearing African garments, and I'm not holding a spear in my hand, chasing down a gazelle or a deer. They're like, oh wait, are you South African? I'm like, yeah, but you don't. It doesn't. This doesn't look well, dude. See, but just something to think about. Image is important. And Americans themselves. America is not all that. There's some rural parts in America as well, such as downtown Chicago, Los Angeles, California, Texas, some parts of Texas. The only reason why we admire America is because in Hollywood movies, they always show the best parts, the tallest buildings, the celebrity runway, the Hollywood Walk of Fame, with those stars. But that's not all of America. Marketing, ladies and gentlemen, marketing. Something for you to think about. And Africans should really take charge of their image and their marketing. Because, moral of the story, if you don't take control of your image, other people will. That's my main message of this video. If you don't take control of your image, other people will. And other people don't have your best interests. Only you have your best interests. Take control of your image, because only you care about you, right? And market yourself in a desirable fashion, in a way that you like to be portrayed. Because let me tell you something, Africans are not in charge of their image. We don't own prominent media houses. We don't have a African version of Hollywood. Because we admire actual Hollywood in America. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that, it would help us, it would help Africans more if they had, they take charge of their image, how they're being portrayed in movies, as opposed to, the undesirable, stereotypical fashion. Dimbawe! Aguduba, chasing elephants and rhinos and lions. Take control of your image. Tell your own stories. So that in future we will not have us being portrayed in undesirable, funny stereotypes. So that people will no longer think that, hey, Africa is just this country, mud plain, right? We are some countries in Africa are doing well, like South Africa. We are in fact a first world country. But the rest of the world doesn't, they don't want to spin that narrative because they don't like Africans very much. They prefer to, keep you shut down like, Africans, they're just a bunch of, bush people. But we're not, right? South Africa it's a developed country, right? How do you think I'm doing YouTube? How do you think I'm talking to you right now? How do you think you see me right now? What, do you think I have a troop of monkeys who are, doing a rain dance, and they're somehow able to, conjure up some magic that's able to intercept the signal of the internet, and that's how you're able to see me with some voodoo telepathic visuals. I mean, come on. I'm using technology. In South Africa, we have technology and infrastructure. We are a first world nation. Hello, I'm speaking English to you. I can speak 4 languages. My native tongue, Zulu. Afrikaans, which derives from Dutch, English, duh, and Japanese, because I watch a lot of Japanese anime. So, us Africans, we have a lot of work to do in terms of, media marketing, in terms of our image, in terms of our reputation, in terms of our perceptions. That's the only way we're going to be taken seriously, is if we take charge of our image, right? Remember what I said. If you don't control your image, other people will. And Africans should really start to, take control of their image. But that's all I want to say for now. If you've been listening this far, thanks for listening, and I'm gonna try to go back to bed, seeing that it's around about 25 minutes past 12. Still a long night ahead. Still a long night ahead until daylight. But anyway,